Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up.
All that jam.
All that jam. Quick hit. Papa Molly on 7 Walkers.
How do you approach composing music and developing new ideas?
I used to be pretty lackadaisical about it as far as kind of waiting for it to come to me. And then, as you may or may not know, I had the opportunity to write with Robert Hunter for a few years, and he really kind of made me stop being lazy. He kind of got on to me one day because he had sent me a bunch of lyrics, and I had just kind of let them sit around and not do anything with them for a while. And he said, "You got to get up every day and work at it, man. You can't just like sit there waiting for inspiration, you know." So sometimes that happens that way, but it doesn't always happen that way. You got to get up and work at it. So I've tried to take that to heart in the last 10 years or so.
Right. He always thought, someone asked him once why he didn't work with Bobby more back in the 80s, and he was like, because there's a black hole. I give him a lyric, I never see it again. So
yeah.
That's what happens. All right, so you mentioned Hunter. Let's jump into the 7 Walkers, because that's a headline for us there. Can
Sure.
you tell me a little bit about how that started? And
I mean, it's the story of me and Billy meeting is pretty well documented, but in brief, I was playing at a festival, the Oregon Country Fair, and I was playing with my trio, and or maybe I had a keyboard player with me at that time. I think I might have had a keyboard player with me at that time. But anyway, after the set, I went backstage, and Billy was back there, and I didn't recognize him, and he just seemed like this nice, friendly guy, and we were just talking about music and talking about New Orleans and talking about fishing and just hitting it off really well. And then I started noticing there was a crowd of people gathering around us, and I knew that wasn't for me. It's like this isn't normal, And then I kind of suddenly I put 2 and 2 together. I thought, oh yeah, he said his name was Billy. Yeah, he looks kind of like Bill Kreutzmann. I said, so are you Bill Kreutzmann? He goes, well, it's Kreutzmann, but yeah, man, it's me. He's a real nice guy. I love Billy so much. He's just a very, very down to earth and no bullshit kind of guy.
you have your meeting with Billy. How do you get the rest of the guys involved in that?
Oh, well, it started off, like I say, with us just hanging out together at this festival, and we jammed while we were at the festival, and it was really kind of exciting. And like Steve Parrish was there, and it seemed like he was like practically moved to tears by it. It was just kind of a special moment. He gave me like Jerry's guitar pick that he used to carry around with him, and I just, for me, it was all like really kind of almost too much to take in at one time. It was, and of course, Oregon Country Fair is like Deadhead Central too, so it was a real special moment, just us playing together for the first time. And I guess apparently Bill felt so too, because it was just like a couple of weeks later, he invited me to come to Hawaii, and I did. And then I invited some other people, Matt Hubbard and Ron Johnson, bass player Ron Johnson, who at the time was with Carl Vinson, I believe. But even then, it was just sort of a casual collaboration. It wasn't anything. I think they were even billing it as like Papa Molly with special guest Bill Kreutzmann or something like that, which just seemed really ridiculous to me even at the time. It was kind of like, but Bill, that's the way Bill wanted it. And that's another testament to his humility and his, down to earth sort of thing. He doesn't necessarily want to be the center of attention, he wants to play music.
Right.
He wants to play music with musicians that he likes. And that's basically it, So anyway, long story short, the infrequent gigs became more frequent. We decided to start taking it seriously. He introduced me to Hunter. We wrote a bunch of songs together. We recorded an album. And then we got George Porter in the band. And then from that point on, our bookings just, like people really wanted to see what George and Billy would do. So our bookings got a lot better. We got a better management, got better agency. And we were touring pretty solid there for about, 4 years or so.
Mhm.
And then we were kind of going to take a break because Billy needed some surgery on his elbow, and I was having some health problems I had to deal with. And once we both came back from that, it was like this deal was on the table for the Dead to do their 50th reunion, and we never just got around to getting back together, and we still haven't. So
Well, now's
I
the
doubt
time,
that will
huh?
ever happen at this point, but I am very grateful for those. I'd certainly be open to it if it did. And I think, it's all up to Billy, really.
How familiar were you with the Dead's catalog? Were you a Deadhead, or were you
No,
you were
no,
casually
I
aware?
I was a Dead fan, especially when I was younger, like in high school. Me and my buddies, we went and saw the Dead in like, I think it was like 74, maybe something like that. And I had like most of their LPs up to that point. Okay. I didn't collect tapes and follow them around the country. I didn't do that. If you don't do that, you're not really a Deadhead,
Right,
So
right.
I didn't do that. I loved the Dead, but I also loved like Dylan and the band and lots of funk music and lots of blues music. And I was a performing musician myself. So I didn't really ever even consider going around and, going on tour with the Dead or whatever. I didn't,
Right.
I was busy doing my own thing. But so obviously, and I was so out of touch. I was so out of that loop that like I said, I didn't even recognize Billy when I met him. I hadn't seen a picture of him in a long, long time, and he was older. And the only way I really kind of put it together was he was wearing a cowboy hat with a Steely on it. And I kind of, I was like, why are all these people gathering around? And then I kind of went, oh, Billy. Steely. That's him. Yeah,
Oh, Billy the drummer, that Billy.
Yeah. So yeah, but I had a crash course in the Grateful Dead catalog, which was a lot of work and a lot of fun. And I still love playing those songs whenever I get the opportunity. Yeah.
Do you feel like that influenced what you did afterwards, your songwriting on any level, working with Hunter? And
oh, absolutely. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, like, first of all, I definitely made me a better songwriter. Definitely. I like to think so anyway. I mean, that's, I guess, for other people to judge, but I think that I think my songwriting is definitely way better now than it was before I started working with Hunter. Yeah.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
also look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.